Dad's voice was still echoing in the hallway when I realized I was done with all of it. "Until you apologize to your sister," he said, jaw rigid, "you're suspended from this house." Suspended? Like I was some employee he could put on leave. My sister, Alina, stood behind him, arms folded, eyes gleaming with that disgusting mix of triumph and innocence she'd perfected since childhood. She didn't even have to say anything. She never did. Dad did her talking for her. I just looked at both of them, and I said, "All right, I don't think they expected that." But I'd been planning my exit long before that moment. I used to admire them. That's the part that still burns. Dad was my compass, or so I believed. He taught me how to ride a bike, solve equations, fix a leaking faucet. He told me I was smart, capable, destined for something bigger. And Alina, my little sister, used to follow me everywhere. She'd cling to my arm, begging me to teach her everything. I thought we were a team. But slowly, the ground shifted under my feet. Dad stopped praising me, started correcting me, started telling me to be more like Alina. And Alina, who'd once relied on me for everything, learned how to weaponize her fragility, learned which tears triggered Dad, which stories would turn him against me, which silences twisted the knife deepest. The first time she lied about me, I defended her. The 10th time, I stayed silent. The 100th time, I realized she enjoyed hurting me, and Dad enjoyed believing her. The night it all snapped, it happened quietly. I walked into the living room and found them whispering. Her face tilted like she was afraid, his hand on her shoulder, reassuring. The moment they saw me, they stopped talking. I don't know what she told him. I only know he looked at me like I was a stranger. "You owe her an apology," he said. For what? For making her uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? That was a new one. I stared at Alina. She gave the slightest smirk, barely there, but I saw it. That was the moment everything inside me crystallized. I realized I had been waiting for an apology I would never get. I realized they would never see me, and worse, they didn't want to. So I decided to show them what it felt like to lose something without warning. People think revenge is rage. Mine was quiet, precise. I knew two things Dad cared about more than anything: his business reputation and the legacy he imagined passing to his perfect daughter. And he had made one critical mistake. He trusted me. I had access to everything: emails, accounts, client lists, contracts, because I'd been the one who helped him streamline the company the year he almost lost it. I didn't steal, I didn't sabotage, I simply revealed. I gathered every document he tried to hide, every backdated signature, every deal he shouldn't have made, every corner he'd cut that could burn him alive if the wrong person saw it. And then I left. At 4:17 a.m., I walked out with one backpack and a hard drive. By 5 p.m. the next day, an anonymous package was delivered to the regulatory board, his partners, and his biggest competitors. I didn't even need to sign my name. The truth did it for me. When Dad called, the panic in his voice was almost tender. "What did you do?" "I followed your rules," I said. "I left when you told me to." Alina took the phone then, her voice trembling in that familiar, theatrical way. "Please," she whispered, "come home." But I could hear it, the fear, not of losing me, but of losing everything that protected her. I already did, I told her. I walked out. And then I hung up. The confrontation came 2 weeks later. Dad found me, showed up at the small apartment I'd rented under a different district. He looked hollow, not angry, broken. "You destroyed us," he said. "No," I replied, "you chose her lies over my truth. I just stepped out of the way." His eyes dropped. He knew I was right. He just didn't expect the consequences to be this real, this fast. "Come back," he whispered. I almost laughed. To what? He didn't have an answer. Alina stayed in the car. I saw her through the window, face pale, mascara smudged. For the first time in her life, she wasn't the golden child. She was the dead weight in a sinking ship. I walked past them both and closed the door. People imagine revenge feels like fireworks. It doesn't. It feels like a final exhale after years of drowning. Dad lost his position. His partners cut ties. Alina lost the shield she'd always hidden behind. The world finally saw them without the illusion I'd been holding up. And me? I didn't rise from the ashes. I walked out before the fire even started. My last thought on them is simple. If you suspend someone long enough, eventually they learn to live without you.